Thank you, Michael. The class of 2014 has chosen Mrs. Carla Jenness as their commencement speaker. And of course, like any smart person would do, I asked Mr. Rizzo to write me up a little biography for her. And in here, it says where she went to college, and instead of just telling me how to pronounce it, of course, he just sends me a video. Tells me to watch. Glad he didn't make me read something. Carla Jenness is the daughter of Texas ranchers and graduated from Stephen Austin University in Nacogdoches, Texas. Something like that. I should have brushed up a little bit more. Besides her career as an award-winning English teacher, Carla has worked in a frame shop and been a newspaper reporter. She and her husband, Chris, came to Nikiski in 1999, where Carla took a teaching position with Nikiski High and took on the challenge of managing the yearbook program, which she still does, and coaching our DDF team to 3 state titles. She is a founding member of Triumvirate Theater, a local theater organization formed in the late 1990s. Carla has a master's degree and has continued her education in the United States and Oxford, England. She is currently working on a second master's degree, having been accepted by the prestigious Breadloaf School of English in Middlebury, Vermont. Ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Carla Jenness.
It's Nacogdoches, Texas. First of all, I'd like to thank the class of 2014 for asking me to be your speaker. My traditional place at graduation has been right over there in the locker room with Mr. Bird. I hand out the flowers, and he checks to make sure there's no expletives painted on your hats. And then was the year where I was sitting right over there with Mrs. Falk, and all of a sudden she turned to me and she says, "Take off your shoes." Why? Just do it. Okay. So I took my shoes off. She takes them, runs them up to a graduate who was trying to walk across the stage barefoot. So I sat through the whole graduation, no shoes on, and then I had to wander around in the commons like a shoeless beggar till I found the girl so I could get my shoes back. But look at me now. Look who's at the big podium, wearing shoes. Yep. It's probably the biggest honor I've ever received, and I immediately started crying when I heard that you'd pick me. So, congratulations to all of you graduates, and to these parents out here, job well done, you guys. I'm constantly telling my classes that it's not enough to have an opinion, you have to back it up with evidence. Research, facts, experts, they help you make your case and make your argument more persuasive. Well, that's all well and good for a research paper on the Salem witch trials or a debate on whether people should be allowed to marry their turtles. I, of course, hold myself to the same high standards I hold my students to, so I, too, should find supporting evidence for the opinions I will put forth tonight. But here's the thing. I don't think scientists or statisticians have the answers to making a good life. As the stage manager in our town says when Emily asks, "Does anyone ever realize life while they live it? Every minute?" "No," he says. "Saints and poets, maybe. They do some." So I'm going to pull evidence from some saints and poets tonight to back me up as I try to share a little advice and wish you well on this most auspicious of days. The class of 2014 is a small class, but they have big opinions, big ideas. They argued so long over what their sweatshirts were going to look like that for a while there it was looking like they would just get them in time to wear them to the after-grad party tonight. And they may be small, but they can put stuff off like a class twice their size. They just put up their senior countdown in the senior hallway yesterday. It had 1 page on it. They put it up. 1 day left. Then they tore it down. Yay, we made it. Seriously, they put it up like a couple weeks ago. And I think it says a lot about you that though you're anxious to move on to the next phase of your life, you've enjoyed high school and have savored these last days. This brings me to my first point. Put your damn phone away and be where you are. Be with the people who are in the room with you. Don't miss another connection, another authentic moment, by removing yourself from your own life. As Thornton Wilder has Emily say, just for a moment now, we're all together. Just for a moment, we're happy. Let's look at one another. Start today, a happy day where everyone is here to celebrate your accomplishments. Start practicing being where you are. Really listen to one another. Be still for a minute. Look at one another. What gives life meaning is caring for each other, being empathetic, thinking about things from the other guy's point of view, withholding judgment. These are skills that not only lessen conflict, always a good thing, but make life meaningful. Let's consider these wise words from Nick Carraway in The Great Gatsby. In my younger and more vulnerable years, my father gave me some advice that I've been turning over in my mind ever since. Whenever you feel like criticizing anyone, he told me, just remember that all the people in this world haven't had the advantages you've had. So, graduating seniors, when you feel like criticizing, judging, or stereotyping anyone, remember not everyone has had the good fortune to be a citizen of the United States. Not everyone has had the blessing of a free and public education. As I speak today, there are hundreds of girls being held captive by Islamist militants in Nigeria because they dared attend school. Not everyone has had families to feed, clothe, love, and nag them for 18 years, then cheer for them as they walk across this stage, diploma in hand. You have those blessings and so many more. So don't judge, don't hate, be kind. You're part of the electorate now. You have a controlling interest in where this country goes from here. So as you start making decisions about who to vote for and what to believe in, don't be a parrot or a sheep. Make up your own mind. Don't just spout off what somebody else Facebooked today. Read, read, read. And don't forget that the choices you make at the poll have real consequences. Like Tim O'Brien in The Things They Carried says in The Things They Carried, you can tell a true war story if it embarrasses you. If you don't care for obscenity, you don't care for the truth. If you don't care for the truth, watch how you vote. Send guys to war, they come home talking dirty. Okay, I'm done with the political part of my speech, pretty much. I'd like to talk to you girls specifically now. It's my turn to think about the advantages I've been given. No one's ever told me I couldn't do something because I'm a woman. Thanks to brave women who fought hard quite a few years ago, I had all the opportunities the boys did, and so do you. But I'll tell you something. There's still a war on girls, and it's being waged by Hollywood and advertisers and every airbrush model on the cover of Cosmo. This is very difficult, but I want you to try to realize how beautiful each and every one of you are. You are young and healthy and perfect. I'll make you a deal. You don't buy their crap when they try to convince you that you're too fat and pimply, and I won't buy it when they try to convince me that I'm too fat and wrinkly. Deal? Like Nora Ephron, who wrote, I Feel Bad About My Neck, said, oh, I regret not having worn a bikini for the entire year I was 26. If anyone young is reading this, go right this minute, put on a bikini, and don't take it off until you're 34. And now that you're graduating in Freedom Nikiski's dress code, you could actually do that. There's a Seinfeld bit about buying furniture on the buy now, pay later plan. Sounds great till a year's gone by and you have to start paying for a bunch of worn out furniture. He says not to worry about it though, because that's tomorrow guy's problem. This is a useful concept for us tonight because I want you to start taking care of tomorrow guy or girl. Today, it sounds like a great idea to eat at McDonald's 4 times a week, but picture tomorrow guy and his enormous gut. Today, it would be awesome to get a credit card and buy a snow machine. But think about tomorrow guy. He can't afford to make the house payment and he has to live in his parents' basement. The problem with the tomorrow guy, I know, is that it all sounds very boring and adult and blah, blah, blah. But if you can put tomorrow guy first, I promise you your life will be better. And that is why, though I know I will desperately want to go home after getting through this speech and have several glasses of Pinot Grigio, I will not, because tomorrow girl has to teach school in the morning. Think of tomorrow guy when you make the huge, by the way, huge decision about who you will spend the rest of your life with. This is a decision that will, more than anything else, determine your happiness. Don't rush it. Always, always, always make sure you can stand on your own 2 feet. I know college isn't for everyone, but having marketable skills is. Learn how to do something that not everyone can do, and don't think you can rely on your spouse or your parents to pay your bills. Only after you get that done, then consider listening for wedding bells. Make sure you know the good and the bad about your maybe future spouse. Make sure you've had at least one good fight. Pay special attention to how he treats waiters and little kids. And when the stars align and your head and your heart say he's the one, commit. Get married. I may sound like an old prude, but don't shack up or hook up or be friends with benefits. Get married in front of God and everybody. Here's something else I've only recently figured out. You only get one hometown. And I know many of you are excited to get away from here, but I hope you're already figuring out that your alma mater is a pretty special place. I want you to think now of what you loved most about this place. I bet it wasn't corn pups in the cafeteria or fire drills in the rain. I'll tell you what I love. November, when it's starting to get good and dark and cold, and I drive up the uncreatively named Education Drive, and maybe snow is swirling in those orange street lights, and I park, and I hurry to the door and open the lock and walk up the ramp into the commons, and you're all here, in this building, together. And I have class, we talk and laugh and read and write, and we're together, and warm. It's a community. Wherever you go, build community. Be a good neighbor. You've had the best role models. There are people in this building who think the world of every single one of you. This staff is a family. This school is a family. When you find a place like Nikiski, it's easy to dismiss it or take it for granted, especially if you've grown up here. But let me tell you, not every school, not every town has the compassion and devotion to kids that this one does. So when someone asks you where you graduated from, be proud when you say Nikiski, Alaska. All right, we're almost there. So, class of 2014, thank you for sharing your lives with me. Thank you for respecting my opinion and trusting me. Thank you for not making me feel old and unhip. Thank you for making me laugh every day. You've inspired me in so many ways. I've shed tears with a disproportionate amount of you, it seems. There are great examples of courage among your ranks. Many of you have had to grow up so much faster than any kid should, but you have done so with such grace. When I think of all you can do and who you are, I am comforted the future really is in good, capable hands. I've seen you display kindness and fierceness. I've seen you protect the innocent, comfort the grieving, and speak your mind. I can't wait to see what you're going to do next. Congratulations, and thank you so much.